What up, what up? Say Stoke G, back on the video. So the title of this video is gonna be how to stay motivated on YouTube. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out. Give you leverage, the better selves. So it's a beautiful Saturday morning. Still kind of cool out here, you know. It's definitely cold enough to have a coat on. I was just in my car, just coming from a men's gathering. Some men in the church. We have a gathering once a month to talk about things, you know, manly things, right? And also to talk about God. So I definitely enjoy those talks because as men, we definitely need a community. We definitely need to have other men we can confide into. That's a real thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I definitely preach up here masculinity, but at the end of the day, we as men need other men. We just do. We need that community. We need that interaction with other men because that's the only way we're gonna be able to get out, have ourselves become better, and to give ourselves leverage in life to take care of ourselves and our families. Can't do it alone, y'all. We can't. You know, I've tried it. I have tried it, and I failed every single time. I needed to have other men in my corner for me to confide in, for me to get mentorship from these guys. I just needed other men. I just did, you know what I'm saying? And that's not an embarrassing thing. It's basically it's telling yourself as a man is that, you know, we need a community of men to make things better for the world and for ourselves. So that's a segue to this video when it comes to how to stay motivated on YouTube. Because a lot of folks that are going to come up here on YouTube for the intention of being a content creator are not going to make it. They're not going to see this thing through, and they're going to quit. That's just the reality of things. It's just human nature. A lot of folks cannot handle pressure. They cannot handle, adversity. Folks fold, man. Folks are fickle, and folks will fail at trying to navigate life when things get hard. And what I would tell you is, whether you're a man or a woman, if you stay in the fight and you keep yourself motivated and you keep yourself around positivity and you keep yourself surrounded by people that are positive, right, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to give up on yourself and to give up on your dreams. And I know for some folks dreams in life is to be able to have residual income and, you know, not necessarily be in a position to where they don't have to work, but that they have some type of nest egg or something coming in where if things happen that's bad when it comes to finances, that they still have income that's coming in. And YouTube has been that engine for a lot of folks, right? More people than I think a lot of people really expect, because even though YouTube can be hard when it comes to getting monetized and to actually have consistent income, but folks have been able to get this thing to the point where they literally are having residual income every single month, and they're being successful at sustaining themselves based off of YouTube. And the only way you're gonna be able to get to that point is to stay motivated and to make sure you don't have distractions that come in your way to trick you out of your position, right? There's a passage in the Bible, Luke chapter 4 verse 5, right? In the book, actually a couple of verses before verse 5, it says that Jesus had went on a 40-day fast, right? And the devil was tempting him during this time, and he stayed in the fast, right? And then once the fast ended, then Satan took him to the highest mountain, and he showed Jesus all the kingdoms of the world. He told Jesus that if you follow me and you submit to me, I'm just paraphrasing, right? That all the kingdoms will be unto you, but you have to worship me, right? You have to be down for me. And Jesus said, "Get thee behind me, Satan," right? Because he knew who he was. Jesus knew who he was, right? As a person, right? And that's what you got to do on YouTube when it comes to being successful, right? You have to know who you are. You have to know your purpose, and you have to understand and recognize why you're on YouTube. Why are you here? What are you doing, right? And I've said before in another video that you don't necessarily have to come up here with a specific purpose or a niche, but when you come up here, You need to stay up here as long as you can to find the reason why you're up here, right? Because it'll come to you eventually. I promise you it will. If you stay in the fight long enough, it will come to you, and you will figure out exactly why you're here on YouTube. And some folks will come up here and they will figure out why they're not on YouTube. Because like I said in the previous video and some other videos, that YouTube is not for everybody. But you have to have some self-motivation. You have to pretty much will yourself up here on YouTube, because folks will fold before they have their breakthrough. And I'm telling you, you got to know who you are, man. You got to know who you are, and you got to know your purpose in life. You have to know and figure out how you're going to navigate this thing called YouTube. Because once you find that out, it's going to be hard for you to quit YouTube. It is. I know for myself. I know why I'm up here, right? My subscribers and my followers tell me this without even telling me this every single day when they come up here to comment. I have purpose up here, right? Now, I'm not saying that the subscribers and the followers found my purpose for me, but they have definitely enhanced and they have proven my purpose up here on YouTube. And it may take a long time for a lot of folks to get to that point where they get followers and subscribers that validate the reason why they're up here. You don't necessarily need validation as to why you're up here, but it definitely helps, right? It helps. But you have to have some dedication. You have to have some intestinal fortitude. And you definitely have to have your mind made up. That's one of the main things that I think that makes people fail on YouTube, is not having a made up mind. Folks that I grew up with, well, older folks that, that helped in my raising when I was younger, told me this all the time. That you have to have a made up mind. You just have to. Everything that I've done in life, whether it be I pursued something or I quit something, I had a made up mind when it happened. When I quit smoking cigarettes, I had a made up mind. I told myself that I did not want to smoke anymore, right? And once it happened, there was nothing that was going to push me out of that path of quitting smoking. Like, it was not going to happen. Now, as a caveat to that, I quit, and then I started up again, and then I quit again, right? I haven't smoked a cigarette since 2016. But, the first time that I quit, I had so much of a made up mind that I had no withdrawal symptoms at all. It felt like I had never smoked before in my life. And I put it on everything I love. Like, I literally quit smoking cold turkey, no Nicorette gum, no patch, and I didn't have not one symptom of withdrawals from cigarettes. And I had smoked for 9 years straight. I put this with my dead grandma, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I didn't have no withdrawal symptoms because I had a made up mind. I had a made up mind, and I told myself that I did not want to smoke cigarettes ever again, right? Now, I had some things happen in my life within those 3 years of me quitting, and then when I went back to Korea, I started smoking again. And then once I quit the second time, I didn't have necessarily a made up mind, right? So it was a little bit more difficult for me to quit the second time. I still willed myself to quit, but it was harder. It was a lot harder. I had the symptoms. It was bad. It really was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took a while for me to quit. Now, once I decided to quit the second time, I still did smoke cigarettes again, but it was hard for me to have that feeling of not wanting to smoke again. If that makes any sense, right? So when you come up here on YouTube, you gotta have a made up mind, y'all. You have to have a made up mind that doesn't matter how many negative comments I get. It doesn't matter, what life brings to me, because life is going to happen. Life is not going to stop when you come up here on YouTube, right? It's going to be a whole bunch of things that's going to happen. And matter of fact, I would tell you that it probably is going to happen when it comes to things happening in your life when you come up on YouTube. Because think about what I said about that passage in the Bible with the book of Luke. Satan was trying to trick Jesus out of his position, right? It was a distraction. He knew what Jesus was on this earth for. So he was trying to trick him out of his position. And Jesus said, "Get behind me," right? Because I know what you're trying to do. And I got purpose. I got to go to this cross, right? I got to do what my Father told me to do. So what you got to do is that when you come up here on YouTube, you got to figure out what's your purpose, and you got to do what the Lord tells you to do. Now, if you're not a believer, that's fine too. You still got to have purpose. You still have to have self-motivation to stay up here. Because if you don't, you're gonna fold. You're gonna be fickle, and you're not gonna stay up here, y'all. You're just not. And I think there's hundreds of thousands of folks that come here on YouTube every single day that quit, that had they stayed in here just a little bit longer, they would find the fruit of YouTube, right? And they will get to that point where they get monetized and their life will change, right? Now, I know for myself, with being monetized now, I know that eventually I'm gonna have income to the point where it's gonna be substantial income. But I thank God for the income I am getting from YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if I get $1 a month, you know what I'm saying? That's money that I didn't have to work for, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine having money that you don't work for and it's coming to you every single month, right? You literally just came up here on camera, just talking to a camera and talking to folks. You're giving so much value to these folks that you have all these people that viewed that video, and YouTube paid you to talk to these folks that you don't even know. How life changing is that, right? But you have to have motivation. You have to stay in this fight for a long period of time. Now, some folks are gonna have it where they come up here and within a couple of weeks they'll be monetized because they have this thing about them that's gonna help them get to that level. Because you know, it might be God, the divine purpose for them, right? Or you may have some folks that come up here and it may take months for them to get monetized. It may take months for them to get the viewership that they need to get monetized. But here's the thing: regardless of how long it takes, it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? What matters is what you want to do up here on YouTube. How long are you willing to stay up here? How long are you willing to fight to stay up here, right? Because at the end of the day, this YouTube thing is all about what you're gonna put into it. You know, it's not anybody else, right? This is a self-made thing when it comes to this thing called YouTube. Now I know, you know, folks can do podcasting, they can do these other things on YouTube that they'll have other folks helping them out to get monetized. But for the most part, a lot of folks come up here on YouTube, this is a self-driven thing, right? Now you may have folks on the outside, right, motivate you to make video, but at the end of the day, you have to have it here. You have to have it here to be able to do these things, right? And in order for you to stay in this fight, you gotta have some self-motivation. Who am I talking to in this video? Now I showed this lake, this river back here, this Rappahannock right here. I show this as some backdrop to show you that, you know how this water flowing. You see this? That water flowing. That's God right there. That's God doing His work right there, right? So you come up here on YouTube, you have to understand and have some discernment for like what God wants you to do. This wants you to flow like this river, right? This wants you to flow through YouTube, right? This algorithm right here, the algorithm is flowing. Now this might be your video right here, over here at the side right here, where I'm trying to angle the camera so you can see. But so this is the algorithm right here, right? This is how the algorithm pushes content through the YouTube space, right? So is your video in this algorithm right here? And is it flowing? Is it flowing to who it needs to get to, right? But the only way you're gonna be able to do that is for you to stay motivated enough to have your video made and created for it to hit the algorithm and for it to flow like this. But anyway, drop some comment section below. Let me know what y'all think. You know, I think that if you stay motivated long enough on YouTube, you will get there. And I'm gonna see you on the other end, because I know that I'm gonna stay in this fight long enough to see the fruit of my effort on YouTube. All right. So you want to discuss this topic or subject you think it benefits your channel? Email me at asog757@gmail.com. My email address to the description below. Say So G, signing out. I'm gone.